There's this thought at night, and as soon as this thought pops up, you can't think of anything else anymore, no matter what you do. The problem is how you handle it. The problem is the relationship you have with that thought. It is that this thought owns you. The point is, most people, and maybe you as well, don't realize that this thought does have a name. It is not you. Mostly it is emotional driven. You need to give it a name in order to make it an entity in your mind. If it is not an entity in your mind, you won't spot it when it comes up. So you cannot really see it from outside, you feel it from inside. That is what very often introverted people have problems with, by overthinking things inside them. It is the very fact that we are not able just by nature to spot these things as something different than us. So we, the self, the part, the conscious part, is the part that can make decisions. Thus, it can take control over your own thoughts. It's actually the only thing you can take control over. The point is we don't do that because as soon as such a thought comes up, we treat it as our idea. And as soon as something is our idea, we definitely have no resistance. We think it's ours. It is the same thing when someone tells something to you. It is not your idea. You feel resistance. You try to fight it. You try to make it look bad or something like that. And when it's your idea, you defend it. It's great. The problem is when things are your thoughts and you believe those are your thoughts, you don't do anything against them because they are yours, which is the problem. And if you don't defend them, if you work against them, you can start to control them. You actually don't need to work against them in that sense, but you need to see them as something which is not you directly. It is inside you, but not you. It's part of your hardware. It is not you as a conscious being. It is not what you would call your soul, right? And if you let those emotions happen, those thoughts at night, and you don't control them, they spiral up, like becoming stronger and can even pull out other things, like you have multiple of those thoughts. And that creates, in the end, anxiety. Anxiety is nothing else than losing control over your mind and having too many thoughts, and your mind creates a story about tomorrow, about the future, which isn't true and which creates fear in your mind. And you become nervous, you become alerted, you are in an alert mode, and you don't get out of there anymore. And even if you have a lot of control over you, in that moment it's very hard to get back, catch your thoughts again, and understand those disturbing thoughts, get back into control. You can train that, but the very best thing is to not get into that situation. As soon as the thoughts are fresh, you can do something about them. When you have, like it is happening right now, something triggered you, something came up, you feel it, then you need to take control over it by understanding something as an outside observer for yourself. Don't just stay inside yourself. Don't name yourself an introvert. I am one myself. I was one. And I really like the idea of the introvert, the person who is the other, who can see him or herself as someone from outside. It is actually quite hard to explain, but I'm pretty sure this is what it means. It must be, because it is actually the evolved version of what we would call the introvert, with the ability to actually do real introspection. Not just living in your thoughts, but being able to observe those. And that is actually very important to get and understand. Because without that, we don't have the ability to actually do something with our mind, in the sense that we can make a change. We can create a baseline and keep it, even though we have those disturbing thoughts. Get back into sleep, even though we had those. Sometimes it doesn't work. Even for me, I'm training that now for so many years. And there are these days where you are weak, right? Especially when you get into bed and you become weary and sleepy, and the self becomes tired. The controlling part is fading, and the subconscious mind is still alive and kicking, right? And that is the moment. It is the only chance you have is to name those things, spot those things when they come up, and say no to them. It's the only way, and you can train that. And every time you train that, the emotional part becomes weaker and less kicking, and the conscious part becomes stronger. You know, both are actually in a way contradictory to each other. But if you don't cultivate the controlling part, Stoics would say the dichotomy of control, as Epictetus defined it in the Enchiridion. It's the very same practice. It's thousands of years old already, the knowledge about it at least, right? It is still absolutely valid and it's timeless. It always will be the case because our mind is built like that. So you need to be able to take back control over your own mind, especially when you feel those disturbing thoughts, which will create anxiety, which will create this story. One last tip from my side is, if you don't journal yet, and you don't have a practice to make that visible to you, to name those patterns, you can just take a pen and paper and write down a table, right? Reality is one column and story is the other. And just write down the thoughts you have into one of each column. Write down one thought, the reality part of it on the left-hand side. On the right-hand side, you write the story part of it, which is not real, but you think it is. And once you have written it down, you see that it is actually a story. So you train your consciousness part to help you understand that this is not real. And as soon as that happens, you calm down your nervous system and it stops bombarding you with that nonsense. It actually helps, maybe not the first time, but if you do that for more often, it actually helps. The more advanced version is to actually do structured journaling, something I really would recommend you to take a look inside as well. I hope that helped you a little bit. I wish you a great day. See you next time. And as always, if you have any questions, if you have any thoughts, something which bothers you and you can't get over it, let me know in the comments, let me know via direct messages. I always answer and I always try to help. I wish you a great day. See you next time.